Imagine a pile of spicy, fluffy rice, topped with some juicy marinated grilled chicken. Sauce that boy up with a bunch of white sauce, and then you'll have the best homemade chicken over rice, New York style. A few months ago, I went around New York City eating all versions of chicken over rice. In today's video, we're making the best chicken over rice, New York style. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is start with the marinade for the chicken. Beautiful large bowl. I'm just gonna drizzle in lots of good olive oil. Don't go too much. I do have a lot of chicken, so I'm getting pretty generous here, but you just want it to glaze every single piece a little bit. What I really like is this hot pepper paste. This is definitely my secret ingredient. It adds so much umami and depth of flavor. So I'm just gonna grab a nice spoonful of it. If you don't have access to this hot pepper paste, you can easily do tomato paste. So I'm gonna just give this a quick mash. It's a little bit of a thicker paste. The next major, flavor component is some fresh heartburn. I already peeled these. I'm gonna set them to the side. Just give these a nice dice. And if you have a garlic press, this is the time it shines, or use the garlic paste if you want. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually hit the garlic with a little bit of salt. Once I got a nice mince on the heartburn, I'm gonna grab it on my knife and I'm just gonna slide it into the marinade. You don't wanna be biting into chunks of garlic, but texturally, you want it to kind of, melt within the marinade. Next on the list, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of full fat yogurt, not Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is not the vibe. And again, I'm pretty sure a lot of those chicken marinades that you see in those classic chicken and rice spots have some yogurt in them. And if you're not marinating your chicken with yogurt, you're definitely missing out. So I'm just gonna go in with like 2 full spoonfuls, not too much, because this will become pasty. So be careful. You just want it to lightly coat it and absorb it in. Next, I'm just gonna squeeze in lots of lemon juice without the seeds, hopefully. So I'm gonna mix this up. The beautiful color of the hot pepper paste with the yogurt, and then there's that garlic running through every single bite. This is gonna be an amazing marinade. And the longer it sits in the fridge, the better it's gonna come out. To balance out this beautiful marinade, I'm gonna go in with some light drizzle of honey. Now our seasoning is gonna be super simple because we have so much flavor in here already. I'm just gonna add a little bit of chipotle chili powder. This is gonna add some nice smokiness to the flavor. Some smoked paprika as well. And then I'm going to go with a very, classic New York seasoning, which is oregano. You gotta do a paprika sazon. Sazon is like very popular in New York, especially in all those bodegas with the chopped cheeses and chicken over rices. We're gonna mix that up. I always like to say, if you put this marinade on a flip-flop, it'll taste good. To properly and accurately season and salt your food, I like to salt the meat directly. So I'm gonna go really light on the salt, and then we're gonna add it to the marinade and mix it all together. So that already has salt in it because of the hot pepper paste and the sazon. And that's how you always accurately and properly season your food without over salting it. If your food is, not salted well, you could just throw some on at the end. So here we are. I'm gonna add my chicken to the marinade. Very lightly, salted chicken. Whenever I mix the marinade, I always like to use my hands. I just get in there, lightly fold, and you're gonna see how that marinade is gonna coat every single piece of chicken. We're gonna marinate this until we lose patience. I always like to say that, but I mean it. And I would recommend at least giving it an hour or two just to penetrate it within the chicken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover this, I'm gonna throw it in the fridge. Our chicken is vibing out. Our next order of operation is to make our beautiful rice. A lot of places use a basmati Della rice. We're gonna do 2 cups of rice only. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna step over and actually wash our rice. Run your water on cold, cover your rice just like this. You're gonna kind of agitate the rice just a little bit. We're gonna wash off the starch inside the bowl. Just rub it. Now our water is very, very murky. It's full of starch. And I actually step over and just dump it out. You want to do that like 3 to 5 times. When the water kind of, starts running clear like this, it's good. Now to cook our beautiful rice, I'm using this 3-quart non-stick pan. I'm just gonna put it. You actually need to have a lid, just like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on the heat, and then because it's non-stick, you don't wanna get it too hot. And as this warms up, if you're not cooking your rice with ghee, you are tremendously missing out. I usually like to do 1 tablespoon per 1 cup of rice. As this kind of starts melting, drop the heat to a medium high. Now remember the hot pepper paste we added with the marinade? We're gonna take the rest of that and we're gonna add it to our ghee. Add it on early or it will splatter and talk back and splash and pop everywhere. We're gonna press it into the ghee just like that so it kind of melts through. To complete our, MSG for the day, we're gonna go in with more sazon. If you are weird and you don't wanna add sazon, don't. Just add a little bit more salt. We get a little bit more spices, just like the ones earlier. A little chipotle chili powder, a little paprika, and a little oregano. So our next secret ingredient is actually gonna be some chicken bouillon. Again, the sazon in here already has salt and the hot pepper paste, so go light on this, but this adds a really nice, flavor to the rice in my humble opinion. Now that our ghee is infused with that beautiful smelling hot pepper paste and all those spices, you're gonna add the rice just like this. I'm gonna slide it in, and we're gonna kind of toast the rice, let it talk back to us too. What I usually like to advise is to follow the cooking package instructions, but I don't like what they got on here. So what I usually do is I got 2 cups of rice in here. I'm gonna go 1.5 cups of liquid. This is 2 cups. I'm gonna add it just like that. And then I'm gonna, finish it off with the rest of my liquid. Because there's no, raw chicken in here, what I like to do is I like to try the liquid. There's a little bit more bouillon, just like that. And that way you'll have always the perfect seasoned rice. You season as you go, you taste as you go, you're cooking at home, you're making some good food. That's the best way to go about it. I'm gonna crank the heat. Once it starts bubbling, right away we're gonna drop it to a low and cover it. Cook it 15 to 20 minutes. It's that simple. Last major component we're gonna make is the white sauce. I feel like a chemist every time I make it. It always tastes a little bit different, but in a good way. If you wanna change it a little bit, you wanna make it your little flair, do that. You like the little dance? In a large bowl, I'm gonna go in with a hefty amount of our mayo. This is gonna be equal parts mayo to sour cream, just like this. In goes our beautiful yogurt like this. So the ratio I'm following is 2 parts mayo, 2 parts sour cream, and 1 part yogurt. And I'm making a lot of this because all of these ingredients have a decently long shelf life. It's gonna last 2-3 weeks. And white sauce is one of those things that goes well with anything. I personally like to add a little bit more chicken bouillon, just a little bit. Right now I'm gonna add some more dried oregano, but you can very easily add some dried mint. I prefer the oregano, it's a little bit more subtle. And then black pepper on the finest settings. I saw somebody say they skip a video if they see someone use this. I feel like a loser. And then for our liquids, I'm gonna do a little bit of white vinegar. I'm gonna grab a clove of heartburn and I'm gonna grate it. You have to grate it in. It makes it into a paste that literally melts in the white sauce. So what this needs is a tiny pinch of salt. Don't go too much. Last but not least, we need a little bit of lemon juice. It's nice and creamy and smooth, but I like it a little bit more watery, and that's when I'm gonna add a little bit of water, just a touch. It's not official until it's in a bottle. I'm gonna take this little squeeze bottle, throw it into our bottle just like this. Grab a quick rubber spatula. I eyeballed the measurements and they came out perfect. Alhamdulillah. Now to really get that New York experience, behind me is a flat top. We're outside, we're embracing the last 2 warm days in Michigan. This has been marinating for like 2 hours. I let it sit out for a little bit just to come back to room temperature. So on a really hot black stone, we're just gonna throw our, oh baby, that smells good. Don't toss them and gloss them, just let them vibe out for a second. And then on the warm side of the grill, that's on the high heat, we're gonna flip them to that side. Now that the chicken kind of dried up a little bit, it's cooked through for the last 8 minutes. It has a little bit of integrity. We're gonna have to unleash the New York in us, okay? Kind of grip it with the tongue. We're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna also lower the heat. I feel like it's pretty hot. The chicken's juicy. Every little piece has its own character. It took like 15 minutes to do this, and you have food for the whole week if you want, or the whole family. This is gonna go into our tray right here. All right, it's the final stretch. It's time to finally plate. We got our beautiful fluffy rice here. Like sometimes I get so pissed off that you can't just be here trying it. This is textbook rice. We're gonna make a nice layer on the plate just like this. Now I throw on some gloves. I'm gonna throw on my beautiful chicken. Now in New York, they do lettuce and tomato on the side. I'm just gonna do lettuce and cucumber. We're just gonna drizzle lots and lots of white sauce. You gotta load it up. Every bite gotta have white sauce. So real quickly, this is a original harissa hot sauce. It's really, really good. So I'm gonna do like a light zip. And now this is my chicken over rice, halal cut style. And as always, now bismillah. Amazing.